100 million in damages? Trần Ngôn practically screamed as he stared at the contract in front of him. Across the table, his manager, Ms. Lowe, reclined lazily in her chair. A smug smile curled on her lips as she tapped the contract with her perfectly manicured nail. White paper, black ink, your signature, your fingerprint. Don't tell me you forgot already? Trần Ngôn clenched his jaw, his eyes burning with fury. Of all the people to transmigrate into, I had to become the most pathetic loser in the entire entertainment industry. After a freak accident, Trần Ngôn woke up in another world, one eerily similar to Earth in a place called Long Country. He now inhabited the body of a freshly debuted celebrity who was universally hated. The original owner of this body had been a walking PR disaster. Internet infamy followed him like a curse. From tone-deaf interviews to laughable performances, he'd turned himself into a global meme. Take his debut performance, for example. During his first press conference, he sang off-key so badly that even tone-deaf fans winced, then had the audacity to say, "My high notes are just like Liu Huan's." That comment alone earned him the title, the Tone-Deaf King. Or the time he flew to Venice, Italy for a prestigious music festival, only to piss off local journalists by saying the city smelled like public urinals. His complete lack of tact made him a punching bag for international media. And who could forget the infamous NBA tribute performance where he wore a bizarre basketball harness, flailed around like a zombie, and sang offbeat in front of millions? The clip topped the cringe compilation charts for weeks. But he didn't stop there. He picked fights with fans on social media, hogged the spotlight in reality shows, sabotaged his group members behind the scenes. The public loathed him. And the final nail in the coffin? A famous actress publicly accused him of harassment. The entire internet turned into a lynch mob overnight. His career? Dead. Over. Canceled into oblivion. His endorsement deals vanished. Sponsors demanded compensation. The meager income he'd earned since debut didn't even come close to covering the damages. Drowning in lawsuits and public shame, the original Trần Ngôn drank himself into a stupor and died. Alone. Face down in a wine barrel. That's when Trần Ngôn, the real Trần Ngôn, crossed into this world. He hadn't been here long, but he quickly realized one crucial thing. None of the classic songs, stories, or cultural works from his previous life existed here. Not even the big ones. And that gave him hope. If no one's done it yet, then I will. He wasn't interested in fame anymore, but he was damn sure going to survive. With his knowledge and a head full of legendary music, he could rebuild, quietly, profitably. But first, he had to break free from this god-awful contract. Trần Ngôn had assumed the company would be glad to cut ties. After all, with his reputation in shambles, he was now a walking liability, right? Wrong. His management company, Tangfei Entertainment, had no intention of letting him go. Why? Because in today's social media-driven world, even a scandal magnet could rake in views. The more people hated him, the more they watched. And the more they watched, the more money flowed in. Right on cue, Chan Vang Television, the most watched channel in Long Country, was preparing to launch a new season of Peach Blossom Dreams, a wilderness survival reality show. The hook this season? Raw and unscripted. 10 celebrities on a remote Caribbean island. No script, no filters, no edits. Well, okay. The island was real, but the no script part? Totally fake. The producers needed chaos to keep the ratings high. That meant one thing. Among the 4 women and 6 men cast, someone had to play the clueless idiot, the troublemaker, the wild card, the punching bag that made the others look good. No one wanted that role. Too much work. No glory. Except Tangfei Entertainment had someone perfect in mind. Trần Ngôn. What better use for a disaster of a celebrity? And when he tried, again, to argue his case, Ms. Lowe leaned in, her voice sweet as venom. Trần Ngôn, We're not just talking about breaking a contract. Your past behavior has hurt brands, ruined campaigns, and cost us millions. You think you're in debt now? It could hit tens of millions before this is over. Want me to talk to legal on your behalf?" She smiled like a wolf. "You're in deep trouble, sweetheart." As for Trần Ngôn, his manager, Ms. Lowe, had already skimmed through part of the show's script. And from what she saw, once this episode aired, there would be no coming back for him. He wasn't being cast as a survivor. He was being set up to be the one everyone hated. But Miss Lowe knew how to play the game. She'd managed enough stars to recognize the signs. And Trần Ngôn, with his unpredictable streak and occasional wild behavior, had to be handled carefully. If he got cold feet, the whole thing could collapse. So she softened her tone, her smile suddenly sweet and warm. "Relax, little bro. Just finish filming this show. Once it's done, if you still want to terminate the contract, I'll personally make it happen." Her voice dripped honey. Her face was all charm. Trần Ngôn narrowed his eyes. "If I complete this collaboration, I'll get 1 million, and the company will cancel the contract without penalties. That's the deal?" Ms. Lowe nodded confidently, thumping her chest. "You've got my word. I'll take care of everything." "All right then, I'm in." What they didn't know was, this wasn't Trần Ngôn first time surviving on an island. In his previous life, he was a professional travel streamer. A month alone on a remote island? Child's play. All he needed was to finish this ridiculous program, collect his 1 million, and walk away a free man. After that, he'd disappear behind the scenes, make his money quietly, and never look back. 10 days later. Trần Ngôn boarded a ship with the crew of Peach Blossom Survival, the latest wilderness reality show by Chun Vang Television. Their destination, Helena Island, a remote, shark-infested outcrop deep in the Caribbean off the U.S. coast. From the moment the program's trailer dropped, the internet exploded. "Deserted island survival? Finally Chun Vang gets me. Wait, is this for real? These celebrities are actually investing money into this? Come on, it's all fake. There's no such thing as unscripted survival shows. Poor babies roasting under that sun. Why is Trần Ngôn on this show? How does a walking disaster like him land a prime-time spot? Get Trần Ngôn off my screen!" The moment Trần Ngôn's face appeared in the teaser, the internet went feral. Outrage. Memes, hashtags. Every drop of hate shifted onto him. And honestly, that suited the producers just fine. Because if you were trying to stir up buzz, he was the perfect storm. The name Trần Ngôn was infamous. Even people who didn't care about celebrity gossip had heard of him. You couldn't look away. You wanted to see him fail. But all the noise online, it didn't bother Trần Ngôn. Not anymore. Behind the scenes, director Ngu, the man helming Peach Blossom Survival, was making final preparations. "Director Ngu, all the bio cameras have been set up around the island. We've tested them. Everything's working perfectly. Emergency supplies and hidden aid kits are in place," another crew member reported. Though the show claimed to be raw survival, director Ngu wasn't about to risk real danger. If anything happened to a celebrity, there'd be lawsuits faster than they could say ratings boost. The actual plan was simple. The 10 guests would be sent ashore first, each equipped with a personal camera. The footage would give viewers the illusion that the cast was alone, fending for themselves, but behind the curtain, professional cameramen would follow later, capturing the high-quality footage needed for the polished final cut. After all, survival TV wasn't about survival. It was about storytelling. And for that, they had one more trick up their sleeve. The entire island had already been outfitted with hidden bio cameras, tiny, camouflaged, positioned to capture every angle, every argument, every meltdown. None of the guests knew. These secret shots would become the bombshell moments of the first few episodes. Raw, real, shocking. Of course, once filming officially began, they'd inform the cast. But by then, the juiciest content would already be captured. All the crew had to do was tell them to act like they didn't know. That would sell the illusion. "Director Ngu," said the assistant producer. "We're ready." Director Ngu raised his walkie-talkie, eyes gleaming. "On my mark. 1, 2, 3. Send them to shore."